Hey, this is Christopher Glennon, aka C2, and if you're in the market for a newer used vehicle, give me a call at 619-368-5550. I work at Kearney Mesa Dodge Jeep and Ram and have access to over 500 new vehicles as well as over 600 used. I look forward to hearing from you.
Hey, I'm Christopher Glennon over at Kearney Mesa Dodge Jeep and Ram, and this is the brand new 2024 Dodge Hornet RT. It is an electric plug-in hybrid, so you do have the benefits of both gas and electric. Come get yours today.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
This is Christopher and Kimmy, and we're going to give you a little bit of an introduction to us. We're going to start that, and this is our first time going live streaming on Facebook. I've been trying to live stream on other apps. It's a little complicated. Facebook actually makes it really easy, so that's why we're here. Kim, what do you want to start talking about? Let's give you a little introduction to you. I know that my followers know me, my family knows me, and that's most of who
So, hi guys, my name is Kimmy. I am a professional DJ, and I've known Chris through my twin sister Ace. We've been friends for a long time. And so, yeah, I've been on and off, like, from the Bay Area to San Diego for 10 years. So, I've seen my twin and their friendship develop. So, that's how I know Chris and his son, C2.
Yeah, and you'll notice she has a little bit of an accent. Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm originally from Sydney, Australia. Was born in the Philippines, raised in Australia, then moved to America. So that makes me like a third term child, if you guys know what that means. It's an actual term for immigrants.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah.
So I also have friends in the Philippines, as a matter of fact, in Manila. I've been there once. I went there back in 2019, right before the pandemic. I think it was maybe 2018. I was there for a couple of weeks. Had a lot of fun with them, hanging out with them. So I've been there. I love the culture. I love the people. Super friendly. We had a lot of fun for the couple of weeks I was there. We went to Tagaytay, the volcano out on the west side of the Philippines,
Yeah.
or on the
Mount
west side of,
Pinatubo or something like that.
yeah, something like that. So we were there for a little bit, and then
Wait, do you have any viewers already? Like,
not yet. We don't have any, but what they
Okay.
will do is they'll be able to go back and watch the
I
recording.
watched, yeah.
So, yeah, I know,
I was
right?
like, I
I'm
gotta
like,
interrupt.
I know, right? I'm like, maybe there'll be viewers at some point. So, let's see. Yeah, I don't see anything going on yet, but that's okay. So it'll give them a little bit of time. Maybe some of my coworkers will join as well. I don't know. But anyway, so you're originally from Cebu, right?
Yeah, I was born in Cebu. It's kind of like the Bali. It's like the Visayan Islands there's so many islands, but it's kind of like the Phuket, the Bali of the Philippines. It's like gorgeous. So there's a lot of Visayan Islands, and there's a lot of you can island hop. So I was born in that island.
How old were you when you moved to Australia?
I was like 5 or 6, like 5, about to turn 6, and then yeah.
Have you gone back to Cebu?
I haven't gone back. I'm actually thinking about going. I was going to go back this year in Australia. So there's been a lot of travel lately. So I'm trying to figure out when is a good time
Yeah,
to
I
go
know as
back.
a DJ you're going back and forth. I know you've got something coming up in Wisconsin, I think, or you
Yeah.
had something in Wisconsin, was it?
Yeah. So my best friends, they own a bunch of Airbnbs. They just bought out a restaurant. So I want to gift them, you know, to play and open their restaurant. So.
Very cool. And so you moved from Cebu to Sydney, Australia. You were there from 5 or 6 until how old?
And we moved, so we were there for like 11 or 12 years, and then we moved to the San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay. So
A lot of moving, guys.
what did you do when you were there in Sydney? I know obviously you went to school, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure how strong your memories are from there, but
I mean, that was like the crucial parts of my childhood and my preteen and teenage years. We were very busy as kids, hence being a DJ now, but there was a lot of performing arts involved, like dancing, singing, acting. Ace and I got into like a modeling and print agency, so we were auditioning like at the age of 12, 13, but all of that we were molded like as kids. My mom really pushed us to go into dancing and acting, and not only that, we were heavily into sports, so athletics and nippers. It's like a form of rookie lifeguard saving, but it's like really, really hard work. Like you do earn like a medal, and it's kind of like a community service type of sport, but it's gnarly when you swim out into black water out there in Australia at a young age.
I can imagine that. And you guys have more great whites than we do here in San Diego, although there have been a couple of shark attacks in San Diego recently.
Yeah.
But even last year, you and I went to La Jolla Shores and we swam out. And we saw some people that were supposedly lifeguards, but we were swimming
Yeah.
out to the buoy and back, and wound up stopping to have conversation with them while we're swimming.
We were lucky
obviously.
we had fins on, and we were just like, okay, like we'll just keep swimming out further and further. And then I mean, those kids, they look like they were like high schoolers, so they felt comfortable to swim up to us, but they were very scared. We just helped to ease their stress. So yeah, it's just a funny segue to say, like, being from Australia, there's a lot of sharks, but here in San Diego, they're coming.
Yeah, well,
They're
I mean,
coming.
I know, right? And there was one attack up in Del Mar recently as well. And then I think the couple of them that I've seen have been in Florida, but I know there's one maybe a little further north than Del Mar. But anyway, so there was one somewhere around here.
Yeah.
And so that kind of stuff, I still want to go out to La Jolla Shores. That's not going to stop me. I know that they're
Yeah,
out
let's
there.
just not go further out though.
I know,
you know?
right? No. Yeah, I know. Swimming to the buoy, and that's about it. But for the most part, I mean, I've swam there for 20 years. So for me, I know that it's pretty safe.
Yeah.
So back to you, though. So you did the lifeguard thing, and then about 15 or 16, you moved to San Francisco. So you were in high school for a couple of years?
Yeah, like I went to high school in the east side of San Jose. It was the worst experience of our lives. Like it was coming from an all girls private school, like going to Catholic school and like, having uniforms and like everything is so nice and there's a school bus. You come from like an affluent area to, no offense guys, I'm not here to bag, but going to a very rough school, that was like, oh my gosh, that was such a pivotal moment. Not gonna lie, like I learned street smarts, and I can say as an immigrant person, we have it tougher because we didn't understand the society, and we still had really thick accents. We were Filipino, and I mean, we'd never been to a school where everyone was ethnic.
Yeah.
Now we were the minorities because we had accents.
Yeah.
We're used to being minorities in Australia because we were the minorities. Now we're really the minorities in a minority area. It was weird.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. So you were there for your high school, and you did swimming over in Australia. But when you got here, you became a DJ eventually. How old were you when you first started performing?
I started like learning how to DJ at 23 by this guy at a dive bar. I was in a university called Cal State Monterey Bay, and at that time I had just transferred, and I was like, okay, I'm going into psychology. I have my degree, I have my bachelor's of arts in psychology, but at the same time, while I'm, figuring out my career in school and this DJ thing, it took off, like literally took off, and I started playing, dive bars. Like you start somewhere, and these places aren't, any good, but I started in the dive bar scene and then took it all the way to San Francisco and started playing all the clubs out there. And that was a ride. That was so pre-pandemic. Everything was going so well. My career was going so well. Never looked back going into psychology, but it was dope.
Was psychology your major in college then when you
Yeah.
were there? Okay. So then most people that I know, I know several DJs and things like that, but they've had some kind of musical experience prior to
Yeah.
DJing. So what was your musical experience prior to DJing?
Yeah, my musical background, I played 3 instruments. I can play the drums. You might find footage out there, maybe on my TikTok. I had to learn how to play the keyboard, the piano. I was really good at the flute, but kind of grew out of that. I did not go and play in a band like American Pie. Sorry, guys. Just didn't get further
You
than
didn't go
that.
to band camp
I didn't go to band camp.
to learn the flute?
I got kind of bored of it, and that's when I knew like I always needed to have music because my dad used to hoard vinyls in our living room. Like it took half of our living room, and so being Filipino too, karaoke and all that. So it started when I was young.
Okay. So still being a DJ, what do you have an instrument that's still your favorite though that you prefer to?
Yeah, I mean my favorite instrument maybe. I don't even play it much is the didgeridoo. I'm really trying to play it, not really, but There's been a lot of people,
I'm
a lot
now
of
gonna
mouths
have,
on that thing.
I'm now gonna have to Google what is the didgeridoo. I've heard it, but
We have
and
one
I've
right there.
oh. Do you want to go grab that for a
Yeah.
moment? Go grab it. So while she's going to grab that, I'll keep the conversation going. But I didn't realize she brought that with her, and that's what it was. Can you play it now? Like that? I didn't know that that's
I
what
don't
that
know
was.
how to play this thing. This is a big, big instrument, mate.
I didn't even know
There's
that.
been a lot of mouths on this. Like, people have come to my place drunk and they think they know how to blow. And I'm like, dude, that is not yours. But this is a didgeridoo, guys. Here, let me lift
I
it
was about
up.
to say lift. Yeah. So that whole thing. It's
This
a
is
big
hold it,
freaking
hold it.
instrument. Like I'm six. Just to give you guys an idea, I'm 6'3", a little more than 6'3", and this thing in my hands, even. I mean, if you're looking at my wingspan, it's about half of my wingspan, but still, holy
This is, I don't
shizzle.
even think it's an authentic one. I would like to order one, and there's no spiders in that, right?
Hey.
Okay. Okay.
I'm like, I'll let you blow into that
I'm
because you
not
said you
very
had a
good
lot of
at
mouths
this.
on it.
There's been a lot of mouths on this thing.
So yeah, you probably need to Lysol that
I
thing.
think we'll have another episode of me blowing through this instrument.
I'm glad you finished that. So anyway, so
Had to show that to you
so
guys.
that's your favorite instrument, but you haven't learned to play it yet.
No.
All
I
right.
want to get back to my roots.
I know, right?
My
That's
nationality.
actually very interesting. So, hopefully somebody out there understands how to play that thing.
Yeah.
All right, so you're in the DJ scene. You've been doing that for a while in San Francisco.
Yes.
How long ago did you move to San Diego?
On and off for 10 years because I was visiting my twin, and I moved like 20, I don't know, 2014. Then I didn't like San Diego. Then I moved back to the Bay because I needed to go to school. Then I got in a serious relationship, obviously. Then there was no way of me moving back up in the Bay, like back to San Diego because I was in the Bay Area. But I would say officially back during the pandemic when artists and musicians were just wiped out and everybody was just trying to figure out where they wanted to be. I officially moved down to San Diego during the pandemic when it was like, okay, this place is cool. It's not. It's just no one's here. You're allowed to party.
Yeah.
People were partying, so I needed to go somewhere where it was still live. So 2020 officially for 4 years.
So here's a question about that then. Obviously, like you said, the pandemic was a tough time for people. Did you live stream? Did you do Twitch? Did you do? I think Kick is also out there. Like there are a few
Yeah.
platforms, obviously.
I Facebook
What did
lived,
you
yeah.
Facebook lived?
I twitched with a couple of mates of mine up in the Bay Area, and yeah, we did a few sessions.
Okay.
Um,
How did that
up
go
in
in
the
terms of
Bay.
viewership? Because obviously, it's one thing when you go to a club, people are already expecting to be there.
Mm-hmm.
They've been watching the flyers, etc. Now you've got to put that stuff out on your social media, and now people are joining your Twitch
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
live stream of you DJing, listening to you play music. But I know that during the pandemic, we were trying to find ways to entertain
to
ourselves.
entertain ourselves, yeah.
So
It was a good time. Like, I mean, I gained, attraction, but I think it was just like not original and I just kind of felt icky. But now coming out of it and, everybody needs to be live streamed. That's what they're looking for now
Yeah.
for these clubs. They want to see an online presence. So, I'm shy. I'm shy, right, guys? But
yeah,
here I
well,
am, and yeah.
And to that point about being shy, a lot of people that seem to be public figures actually have a very shy demeanor. They're public, they're on display, but when they're not on display or when they're not on the job or performing or doing what they're doing, they want to be private. They want to be able to enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know that you don't invite a lot of people back to your place because
No.
you just don't believe in like the after parties.
I
and
don't
stuff
bring
you
the party to my house because I have so much equipment. I have things that I store, and I just always knew like my house is not going to be the party house. Let's bring that somewhere else.
Yeah. So how long have you lived in San Diego then?
Officially like 4 years.
4 years. Okay, so okay, so that's what you meant from
2020,
2020.
yeah.
Is that was when you were moving? Okay. So now that you've been down here, I know that I think you and your girls did a wine event or something like that. You guys went
Yeah.
to Temecula or something. How was that? You did that recently?
Yeah, it was so fun. Friends from the Bay Area, they moved down to San Diego, and they just kind of new out here, and they've never tried the Temecula wine country type of events. So they hired like an Airbnb, which was really fat. It was gorgeous. And I kind of went to the tail end. I've already been to Temecula quite a few times, so I wanted them to get it in. But we went to Fazeli, we went to Dofo today as we left. And yeah, like, I mean, nothing beats Napa originally from, from the Bay Area. We're very spoiled. The wines here are so different. They're much more drier. It's not like the type of wines that you would experience in NorCal.
Yeah, and
But obviously they were being a little snobby. They're like, "Oh, we're from the Bay, we know better." I'm like, "Guys, this is SoCal. Like, let's dim it down a little bit." But I was the DD, and I let them have their good times, and yeah.
well, and as someone that has gotten certified as a sommelier, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, don't get me wrong, it's a level one sommelier, so I'm not someone that's going out there and telling you this wine
Mm-hmm.
is this old and it was made here and all that other stuff, but I understand the basics.
Yeah.
If you were to look at, I mean, I think that there's plenty of room for not just Napa to be a significant place in the U.S., but also Southern California. Because if you look at it, you've got German wines, French wines, Spanish wines, like different wines over in Europe, and we're no different here. You have
Yeah.
different kinds of land in different areas here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have land in the Midwest that you could explore and things like that. So for people, and I get Napa, it's been able to
It's
develop.
Napa wine country, man. It's the most one of the prestigious, like they have the best wineries in the
Well,
world. So
Well, and it's been able to develop for longer
yeah,
than Southern California. Southern California is coming along though, and they're
I hope
developing
so.
better and
Yeah.
better wines. Well, and they are developing better and better wines. So it's what happens is when you start using the roots, you need them to age so the wines get,
Yeah.
so that the grapes get better, more mature, more flavor, more. The roots go deeper, so they're bringing in more flavors and things like that.
Right.
So,
Get in there deeper.
I know, right? Keep it
Actually,
clean.
I saw that we had one viewer. Did you
I
see
saw
that?
that. Yeah, we've
I
had one
wonder
viewer
who it
twice.
was.
I know, right?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but obviously this is live. This is our first time, so.
Yeah, no, that's all good. So, I mean, that's what this is about, is us figuring this out and figuring out how to go live. So, I wanted to introduce you because obviously people that are following me know me, and then I know that we tagged you in this as well. So, obviously, there are going to be people that follow you that will wonder who I am, or
Yeah.
some of your people do know who I am. I know that you have some of your girls that have met me over the years because we've been friends for so long. I've gone to events when your sister was going through her situation and everything.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that
I think we should
another
have her
time.
on the air sometime soon to
Yeah,
talk about that.
that would be dope.
I have the phone connection now, but it didn't work the other day, so we'll wind up figuring out how to tie that in as well,
Yes.
and get that to work too. But that brings us up to now. You're still DJing. You're still traveling as a
Still
DJ.
DJing,
You have a couple of side businesses as well, correct? That you're
Yes.
working on. What are your side businesses?
I'm in the hotel game. I'm a hotel broker. Everything seems to be relative. I'm in the hotel game for a private company. I wouldn't say we're event planners. We work with event planners, but we're hoteliers. And I also have like a tech company too with me and my business partner Janitza, whom I'll bring on board and we can chat more about.
We can even bring her on for an episode and let you
Yeah.
guys discuss that a little more too. In
Yeah,
terms of what you're
so-
doing, you're a woman-owned business. You're
Yeah,
trying to grow.
serial entrepreneur,
So,
guys.
so yeah, a few business things. The hotelier, then from the hotelier side, is that where you look for corporations that are looking to send their staff to other areas?
Yeah, like any 3-star, 5-star boutique hotel. Like we have good relationships with hotels like in the Red Sea, like
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
in the Alps. Like we have been around for 34 years. That's crazy. Well,
I know, right?
that just tells you a lot.
So for those of you that don't know,
Yeah,
that's about how long she's been around.
exactly. Hopefully
So,
I look good.
without nailing it on the head.
So yeah, and meeting the associates. Well, they've been around for a very long time, and they stuck with the company, which is a great brand. To know that these associates have been very loyal to this company, and so we could talk a little bit more about that. But I'm still a professional DJ, still entertaining. Continuously trying to build my brand and get my name out there, just like you, Chris.
I know, right? So as a DJ, then let me ask this: you also have, I know that you don't bring this up much because you haven't released it or you haven't put it out there, but you have an audio track that you actually developed. What was it called again?
Oh, it's called Bad Decisions. We will one day air it.
All right. I was about
one
to say,
day.
yeah, find out what the licensing is on that because obviously anything we live stream, they're going to ask for the license stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that would be dope to be able to air that. I liked the beat on it at least, you know.
We will have a partay on live.
So part of the reason Kim and I went live tonight is we were watching a video of this girl who was talking about what was the situation, Kim? You were showing me the video.
Oh my gosh, so she started talking about how OnlyFans has desensitized her and that she's not attracted to men anymore.
I think that's a good topic.
That's
It's
crazy.
more
We should
than
save this and like actually really dive into
we
it.
can dive into it, but let's touch on it for just a moment because I agree with that because I've been worried about that over ever since the pandemic rise, the pandemic start, and all of that. I've talked about how much the pandemic damaged humans in general,
Yeah.
the psychology and all of that other stuff, and as we've all known, and it's been said by countless outlets, countless individuals. I mean, as a society, we know that it's a bad idea to do OnlyFans because
Yeah.
you're basically a lot of people on OnlyFans have devolved to a pornographic style of
Oh
OnlyFans,
my gosh, yeah.
and and by doing that, this girl brings to light some of the topics. And I mean, I'll state her name in case it winds up getting back to her or whatever. But it's Kimchi Princesa, and I think on TikTok, I think it's good to hear her message because she talks about
Yeah.
how it's left her empty inside. How she has, yeah, sure, she has nice guys that follow her or whatever, but all the things that have happened on OnlyFans, uh, it's affected her mental health. And let's
Yeah.
talk about mental health for a little bit because
Big time.
you and I go to the gym for mental health, but not everybody has that outlet. And so when you're
No.
doing something on OnlyFans to that level that you're subjecting yourself to these horrendous comments from, I can't even understand because,
Oh my God, I'll fight with somebody on the internet like any day.
yeah,
I
but
have Twitter fingers, so but I'm trying to work on that.
you have
So do you,
Elon
Chris.
fingers. Elon's
So do
quick.
you.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Him and I will go toe to
Oh,
toe.
we have a group chat.
Instigate. We
And I
instigate.
send shit to her every once in a while. I'm like, oh, look at this. And
Oh, no.
we're cracking up about some comment that I left.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what the fuck. So, but back to this girl. And this has been my big concern from a societal standpoint. And we need to do, it would be nice to do a psychology episode since
Oh,
you
yeah, I
majored
have-
in psychology.
Yeah.
C2 and I've talked about it from time to time about the mental health things. And I think you would be a great candidate to have on that since that was your major in college and everything and you
I have a
understand
big
that.
passion for it,
And I
yeah.
read a lot of books on psychology, so I think that we could banter back and forth. And I even majored in psychology for a year and took psychology courses in college.
There's actual quantitative and qualitative data. Like there's still a science behind it. It's still a young science, like a decade or 15 years, but
Yeah.
there is actual science in human behavior and people don't understand, just even going live, like social media, all these things like technology is really affecting humans, but that's another chat, there's a whole
Let me
there's a whole department on that.
wrap that topic up about her, though. So I respect that she's at least come to the realization. The thing that sucks is she's young.
She's
So
young,
career-wise,
beautiful,
going out and looking for a
Asian.
job and things like that, if they Google her name, they're going to find these videos. They're going to find her OnlyFans. And there's a lot of that is taken into account now when people
Yeah.
are trying to hire people. They go check your social media, and it's become overwhelming for people to look at your social media. So
Yeah.
when they look at social media, they're going to find the OnlyFans videos and things like
Yeah.
that of these young women who didn't realize how far that was going to extend. And they probably started OnlyFans innocently, and then all of a sudden these guys on the internet start funneling them money for doing
Yeah.
small things, and those small things continue
They
to
lead
become,
up and like people don't understand.
It
There's
accelerates.
they can screenshot. They can literally screenshot on their phones. Like
yeah,
it's just like you're gonna lose your dignity and the respect. Like I already get into it with people via Instagram, so you can imagine like if I had an OnlyFans and someone was saying something disrespectful to me, I'm
Oh.
gonna clap back real quick.
well, yeah, and it gets to that point. And so for some of these girls, I mean, they have a wide range of personalities for the women that have gone on there, from low self-esteem to high self-esteem to
Yeah.
to confident, and then you get on there and I hate it for them because I grew up in Alabama, and I'm sorry, but I still have Southern values. I open
Yeah.
all of your doors for you, and we're just
Very
friends.
sweet.
We're
Yep.
just friends, and I open doors for you. I open doors for the other women that I know, and so my heart goes out to these young women who were a little naive going into it. So,
Yeah.
and like you said, we can do a bigger deep dive into that. And I would
Yeah.
like to do it with OnlyFans and then
Yeah.
mental health and take that into consideration and wrap that in.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I feel bad for those women as they start to go into their careers, or they start to go to meet men, or they try
Yeah.
to date the man of their dreams, or they try to find their
Yes.
husband, or their kids are searching 15 years from
Mm-hmm.
now and find mom. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's stuff for me from MySpace days,
Yeah.
and thankfully I was always respectful. But
Yeah.
if you go look at my MySpace, it used to have pictures, then they screwed up the servers. I left them there because that for me was fond memories that
Yeah.
I had, like comments around my MySpace and things like that with friends and things from back in the day. So it's cool that 20 years later I can go back and every once in a while just be, oh yeah, that was kind of cool. Yeah, I do remember that. But
And you can
it's all
everything
gone
is
now.
on the internet, but that doesn't matter, right?
Yeah. Well, and once it's there
So,
forever. So
yeah.
it's a tough thing. So with that, we've been doing this for 25 minutes. We have actually a few viewers
We
coming
don't
in.
want to be.
Well,
Whoa,
actually,
we just
I
gained
know,
5
right?
viewers out of nowhere.
So that's rather
What's
dope.
up?
Feel free to comment if you
Say,
are in
say
the
hi.
chat.
Who's
Hello,
watching?
everybody.
We want to see.
I don't know if I can even see. So we're live streaming for the first
actually
time today.
interesting.
And unless you comment, I don't think I can know that you're in the room. So that will help me
exactly.
know. But
Wave your hand.
we've been
Send us
talking
a
about
wave
where
emoji.
this is Kimmy. I'm Christopher.
Hey.
And we've been friends for over 10 years, but I decided to bring her on the show and see what we could do. So we lost 3 viewers with that. That was great.
That was worth it.
All right, let's wrap this up. The worst
Yeah.
case, people can watch this in hindsight, scroll through it, and see what we talked about and things like
Yes.
that, and get to know a little bit about you, a little bit about me, and we'll continue to do this in the future.
Yep.
But now we know that it may take 25 minutes to get any actual viewers.
Perfect.
So, all right.
Thank you for watching, and
With that,
we will see you soon.
I'm C1 Christopher. This
and
is
I'm
DJ
DJ Kimmy.
And thank you very much for watching.
See ya. I want to know who.
The Merchant Card Group. If your business needs payment processing services, hit me up and I'll give you a referral code. With my referral code, send them your statement, and if they can't beat your current cost, they will give you $250. That's how confident they are that they can beat your cost. You can reach me at CA Glennon on Instagram or at 619-249-9328.